Hari Om. We'll chant the first two slokas of Vakya Vritti. Okay. First two. That is the invocation. Sarga sthiti pralaya hetum achintya saktim Vishweswaram vidita viswam murtim nirmukta bandhanam para sukhamburasim Sri Vallavam Yasya prasadat ameva Vishnu Mayeva sarvam parikalpitam cha Pittam vijanami sadatma rupam Satsangri padmam pranatosmi nityam. Verse 12. Satyananda swarupam dhi sakshinam bodha vigraham chintaya atmadaya nityam yaktva dehadigam dhiyam. Verse 13. Rupadi manyata pinda tato natma ghatadivat viyadadi mahabhuta vikaratvacha kumbhavat. Hari Om. We have been pursuing the text Vakya Vritti composed by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. It's a very special text because it is a Prakarana Grantha. That means it's a Sahakari Grantha. It's a Grantha which helps you to know the Upanishads or Vedanta. But it's an advanced Prakarana Grantha, which means that after you have studied some of the Granthas, you know what are the Mahavakyas. And after you know the Mahavakya, this text is giving an explanation, a comparative analysis of the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi. Okay. So we have the student has approached the teacher is agreed, and teacher is giving, then their sambada is going on. So in the last class, what we have seen is the teacher is saying that you give up the intellectual concept that the self is the body. We always say, I am the body, I am this person. And always meditate and think yourself to be the eternal Atman. And that only can bring you to the real self. You will realize that you are that internal Atman. Okay. So what is saying in that you are the, you can say that when somebody asks you the question, who are you? Then you can say your name and form, all that you can do. I am so and so, I have done so many degrees, I was working here and I have studied this, I am from this city, all that you can say. But that is at a sansarical level, at a worldly level. But when somebody really, a person who knows the things he is asking, then you have to tell from the spiritual level. What is the real self? What is the eternal self? What you are actually? So that, why this is happening? Because we are always in a mixture. You know, the body, we say this and so, that body, mind, intellect is one, complex is an Atma. And I am the real self is the Atma, that is the pure consciousness. Both of them are mixture in such a way that you cannot separate. So it is very difficult to separate, so that's why we mix up. Sometimes I'll say I am the body, sometimes I'll say I am the Atma, but I can never separate it out. That is the big problem. Because all the time experiencing that. And moreover, our attention goes to the gross. You have so many other things together, so your attention goes to the gross. That's why even though the body, mind, intellect, cross the Atma is all together, your attention goes to the gross. So I'll say that I am the body. Okay. So coming to the real self, that means the pure consciousness, that what we come to know in our Nirvana Satyam. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, Naham. So I am not all this. So when you come to that state, and you will say, I am the Atma. Suppose you go to the market and somebody asks you, who are you? Then you will not say, I am the Atma. No, you have to tell your name and you are from where you are coming. So in the transactional world, you express yourself as physically or gross level, whatever. But in a Adhyatmika or spiritual world, you have to know yourself. So that is your Satyananda Swarupa. That is the Satchidananda Swarupa. That is the Bodha that you must understand. And I told you how the doubts will come. So that those doubts should be removed. And it will be analytically and logically proved that I am not this body, mind, intellect, and I am the pure self. Okay. So in verse 13 we are doing today. In continuation of what logic we are following in the previous slokas, verse 13 is a good like that only, then it's a continuation of that. Rupadi manyata pinna tato natma ghatadivat Vyadadi Mahabhuta Vikara Tvacha Kumbhavat. Beautifully it is stating that I'll give you the word meanings first. Rupadi Manyataha. Rupadi Man Yataha. Rupa means that it's form. Rupa Adi means names and forms, etc. Manyataha Yataha. As we know that the Pinda means the gross body. Upadi Manyata Pinda. We know that the gross body is with names and forms. Tato Natma Gatadiva. Tataha, therefore, similarly, no Atma Gatadiva. Atma is not like the gata, like the pot. Next line, Biyadadi Mahabhuta. Biyat is the space. Biyat Adi means it takes all the space, all the Pancha Mahabhutas into account, and he said Biyat etc. Biyat Adi Mahabhuta, all the Pancha Mahabhutas, and they are what? Vikara Tvacha Kumbhavat. Vikara Tvacha Kumbhavat. Vikara Tvat means due to modification of these things, Mahabhutas, Vikaratvat, and like the Biyad means that like the space, etc. And like the Kumbhavat is the pot. All these space, etc. Mahabhutas are modified, subject to modification. Anything that you have in this world, they're all modified form of these 5 elements. And what is the example? Kumbhavat, like the kumbha, like the pot. Okay, very simple idea, but it is being repeated here. So he says the body is not the self. That's very clear, all of us know. Anybody has doubt? Anybody still has the doubt that I am the body, not the self? Anybody has the doubt? You raise your hands. Nobody has doubt. Are you convinced that you are the self, not the body? Are you convinced? Raise your hands. All of you are convinced, raise your hand. You are convinced. Very good. Okay. So the body is not a self. What is the example in traditional Vedanta or the Shastras? They give the example of the pot. The मिट्टी का जो pot होता है, कुम्हार बनाता है. Like the घटाबत. huh? Bat means like that, because of, or like that. So like the घटाबत, the body is not the self. Why so? Because as the pot has got forms and names, so is the body. It has got names and forms like the body. Like the pot has got names and forms, same way the body has got the names and forms, so that is not self, that is anatma. Vyadadi Mahabhuta. That means again the body is one became that it's like the pot. Second one is it like the space. What is the like the space is saying? See, anything, any element, any object in this this world is a modification of the five Pancha Mahabhutas. So, because the body is also something, some matter. So, that is also modification of the Pancha Mahabhutas. And starting with Akasha. Akasha is the space. So, Akasha, etc., are modified to become the body. And that is also like the pot only. Pot is modified. I mean, all the Mahabhutas are modified to become the pot. So, same way Mahabhutas are modified to become the body. So, there is no difference between you and the body. In so far as it's an object, it's a material object. All of us agree? Body and the pot are compared because they both of them have got modified forms of the Pancha Mahabhutas. So here a comparison is being made between Atma and Anatma. How the Anatma is formed, how the Atma is formed. And he has given very apt example of this body and the pot. And also he has included the Panchamahabhutas. The example is the mud pot and how it changes names and forms. You know the process of the mud pot. A Kumara, the pot maker goes and gets some earth. मिट्टी लेके आता है, मिट्टी में पानी डालता है, मिट्टी में पानी डालता है, then obviously then makes a bundle of those mittis, then वो चक्की चलाता है, that machine is there which goes round, then he puts that lump of mud, he puts that, then he puts his hand and steps it and then brings out a pot. So whatever he makes, he is the pot maker. Not only pot, he can make a plate, he can make a glass, he can make a lota, he can make anything that he can do. And depending on the form, depending on the shape, size, some name is given. Same mitti, that clay is the cause. Clay is the source from which he is making. But only by changing the shape, size, and the form, he is giving a name and he is selling you as a pot or a lota or a cup or a saucer, whatever is the form. So how the pot is made? We are just example, we are taking the pot. So the pot, the material cause of the pot is mud, clay, mruttikavat. Anything, all the mud pots are having the material cause of the mud. That is the material cause means upadana karana. Okay, one upadana karana. Of course, इसका अंदर तुम पानी डाला है, there will be air, there will be space, huh? There will be earth, there will be water. All the five elements are there. So that means you have the pot maker. He has modified the five elements in such a way that it becomes a pot. It is same way that a goldsmith. Actually, goldsmith don't do anything. It's the karigar who does that. Same, he takes the gold, he melts it, and then he does the creates the ornaments. Gold is the cause, is the metal, and then you get a necklace or a earring or a you know anything that you can make out of gold. Gold remains the cause, and everything is a modified form. Okay. Same way, you see the ocean or the sea here. Water remains the cause, and the water, when it is modified in names and forms, like the wave comes. So you see a wave, you'll see a big swell, you'll see some sprays of water coming up, you'll see some bubbles, you see some swell. All these things are modified form of water. Water is the substratum, and these are the names and forms. And this, how they, anything that forms, anything that comes to our view, it undergoes modification. Sadvikara. Now, anybody remember this Sadvikara? Any of you can remember the Sadvikara? What is the Sadvikara? For 6 modification. Asti Jayate. Okay. Asti Jayate Vardhate Viparinamate Apaksayati Vinasya. The 6 modifications. So these modifications is undergone by each and every anatma. So you get something out of that, The gold, you get the ornaments. Water, you get the many waves and forms. And so also the pot. So this is the story, the life story, life history of any anatma. Whereas Atma or the self, it is totally different. It is never born, or it is always there. It is eternal, so it is never born. Najayate nam riyate va kadachit. So never born. So that self is not subject to modification. It's immutable. You cannot change or break. It is without birth and death. And it is never created. So Atma is never created. So it is never destroyed. Right? So that self is the Atma, which is never created, which is eternal, which is without modification. Whereas the body or the pot or the waves or the ornaments, all are anatmas. It is produced out of the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, earth. So these are all product of some matter. So 5 elements are being converted to anatma through a process. Okay. What other differences is there? Let us see. One thing is the modification of 5 elements. And now we are saying, what he is saying in the sloka is, these are all Ghatadibat. Vikara hota hai sab, from 5 elements. So you, later on you'll say Then you tell me about the Atman. No? Why you are talking so much about Anatman? So this Anatma is a modification of Panchamaha. And it is ever changing. And it undergoes constant modification. It is not that एक बार modification you get it right. It's the body can be compared to the mudpot or the waves or the ornaments, whatever you said, it can be compared. The body is like that mudpot or the ornament or the waves. Comes and goes. So we say very clearly that the body is anatma, it is not the self. Then question arises, the body is anatma, and how the body is so dynamic. I am talking, you are listening, you are working, all that. How it is happening? You are so dynamic. You are moving, you are walking, you are flying, all these things are happening, no? If the body is anatma, the jada, insentient, how can it work like this? That dynamism, that movement is derived from uh, through the sense perceptions, how it is coming. How the body has got the ability to perceive, to know something, to touch something. All these sense organs are giving you some feedback, perceptions. How it is happening? If the body is anatma and you're not. Okay. That's the answer is that it is all due to the presence of an expression of that consciousness, an atma, which is pervading throughout the body. We say it is a reflection of consciousness, RC. It is reflected in intellect and then it pervades throughout the body. So the body becomes dynamic because of the presence of consciousness. The body, mind, intellect are the matter equipment, this assembly of equipment that gets energized or it becomes enlivened because of the presence of the Atma or consciousness. So this Atma is separate, the Anatma is separate, even though the body seems to be dynamic. Further doubt arises, if the body is Anatma, Jada, then how it grows, how it becomes big. I was a child, I have become a young, energetic man, then I have become old. How this body is growing, how it is decaying, how this is happening, how the modification is taking place. And sometimes I am short, I am sometimes tall, I am putting on weight, I am losing weight, or I'm all these things are happening to me. But the pot doesn't change. Pot remains the same pot. So why do you compare me the body to the pot? The body is undergoing change from the child to the bigger adulthood, but body remains the same. Okay? How can you say that the body is like the pot? Because the sloka, he says body is like the pot. How can you say that? Body is changing, body is growing. So the rebut is the body is assimilating the nutrients from the food that you undertake. But all this is possible because of the presence of that consciousness. All your parts of the body, each limb, each organ, and each cell of the body is energized, is enlivened because of the presence of the consciousness, and it works as if it is live. So it assimilates the food, the nutrients, and it sends to the each cell. It gives its nutrients, and then it grows. The body grows because of the food intake. So that's why it is said the body is made of parna. And it decays because of the old age, because of the disease, etc. It is not because of itself. Same way, an example is given in the Ashes. Same way, suppose you have a brick wall, and you can also raise the brick wall. You have 2 feet, then you can make 3 feet, 4 feet, like that. You can make. But the brick wall grows by adding some more bricks and constructing a wall. Same way, you are adding nutrients to your body, and the body is growing. But both are one another. Body is going from inside because the sentient being is there. The wall is growing or becoming bigger because from outside somebody is doing it, adding the itta and bricks and mud and all whatever it is. Okay. The body is sentient, but the brick wall is not sentient. Body is growing from inside, but the brick wall is going with the support of outside work. Another thing comes up that my body is subject to cause and effect. If I eat less, I'll feel weak. If I eat more, I fall sick. My body, whatever is the body is there, it is also caused by my parents because of their genes. My gene is different, or my whatever is carried forward, the shape, size, and even the characteristics of mind is because of the parents or grandparents. You can see you have inherited a lot of ailments from your parents. Same, if the mother had some asthma, the child also has asthma. If somebody has arthritis, they will have arthritis. It's carried forward. So the cause and effect is there. Isn't it? So the body, the gross body, is subject to cause and effect. But this self is never subject to cause and effect. It's the same thing, immortal all the time. So the gist is that the self or the Atma can never be considered as an Atma. It is totally different. The essence of this sloka becomes that the gross body is made of matter, that is an Atma, like the pot. But the self is the consciousness, that is the spirit, that is Atma. The body is an object of consciousness. The body is an object of consciousness, but the Atma can never be the object of consciousness. Atma is the consciousness itself. But you see, when you're talking of creation, the body also to be included as a part of the creation. You are not creating any Atma, you are not creating consciousness. That is always there. So when you're creating something, body is created. Even though it is created with the consciousness, body is created. Everything, every object, every material that is there in the world is having some gunas, some properties. Right? Understand? Properties. Like water. Water has got a property of coolness. Or like fire, it has a property of heat. Everything is like any body also. It has some properties. Somebody so what is the height, what is the breadth, what is the weight, all that properties are there. Same way, all the entire physical body as well as a subtle body, gross body and subtle body, all of them have properties. Like a mind can have the gunas, the sattva, rajas, tamas, the three gunas, basic three gunas of the prakriti, are there in the mind also, isn't it? Same with the intellectual level also, somebody can be very sharp intellect, somebody will have a dull intellect. So these are the gunas attributed to the body, mind, intellect. Same way, whatever may be the object in the world, each of them has got some properties, some guna. That means we can safely say that wherever there is guna, that is an atma. Wherever there is guna, there is an atma. Yatra yatra dhuma, tatra tatra banni. You know that. Same way, yatra yatra guna, tatra tatra anatma. So you apply the same principle to everything in the world, you'll come to know that wherever there is a guna, that thing is an atma. Because atma has no guna. Nirguna, nirakara, or nirvikarta. Atma has no guna. So anything that has guna is an atma. The physical body also has gunas, like Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are all, you are getting the gunas through your sense organs. So we can say that Deha is Anatma because of Saguna. Deha Anatma Sagunatvat. Because of it is Saguna, there is the Anatma. So in the sloka, he says Pinda, Rupadi Manyata Pinda, Tato Natma Kadadiva. Pinda means what? It's the body, physical body, the gross body. The gross body having the names and forms which you nourish throughout your life. Most of the time we spend time to nourish the body carefully, but it's a bundle of flesh and blood. Sapta dhatu, as you say, no? Sapta dhatu. So sapta dhatu is that flesh, blood, then your what you call muscles and snayu and charbi. All these are put together sapta dhatu. They all of them. See, actually, Bhagavan has packaged the body very nicely. In Vivek Chudavani, Shankaracharya is saying beautifully that the whole body is very well packaged, like in the today's world, they do the packaging, same way. Are under thoda kaat lo, you'll find this blood, this. You see have you seen a accident, road accident, some body is smashed and all that. You'll see the intestines coming out and all that, the blood are coming out. It's so horrific. Huh? So that is actually your own physical body's reality. Huh? But it's so nicely packaged. On top, there will be shown a lovely skin, white skin and black skin or whatever it is with the hair, all that, packaged nicely so that you look good. But you see, the physical body is also made of all these flesh, blood, bone, marrow, everything, as well as you yourself is carrying the fecal matters, urine, sweat, everything is being carried in you and all the time present. But you will say, I am sattvic, very clean and nice bath. But you will still have that fecal matters in you and you will go to the temple also. Huh? with a nice white dhoti or kurta, you'll go to the temple. I'm very, pious, but still the thing, the moment that goes out, it's untouchable. But inside, okay, I'll carry it. So that is the physical body, and all the time we are taking a lot of care to nourish this body from inside, from outside. You talk of the ladies, what they do in the beauty parlor. It takes so much time to do up the hair, to the face, facial, mascara, here, sab chal raha hai. And how much the industry is running on that fashion. So if the body is there, you only got to cover. But there is and so many industries are running because of the fashion. But one thing is sure, body is also equally important. You have to nourish the body, you have to keep the body fit, because without the presence of the body, the consciousness, the Atma, cannot express itself. That is for sure. Atma cannot express without the body. It will be going in chakkar, to find a body. Like your rebirth ke liye, that Jivatma has to find a appropriate body to take the rebirth. Without taking the rebirth, you cannot know where is the Atma, what is it doing, what is happening, you cannot know. So, the instrument of the body is essential for expression of the consciousness or Atma. They both of them must go together. So, what do we come to is that whatever objects of the world we have in this world, they are all modification of the same Panchamahabhuta. And because of the vikara, because of the modification, they have become the anatma. So we can say, yatra yatra bhautikatvam, tatra tatra anatmakatvam. So this deha is anatma because of ghatavat, because of the ghata. So whatever material is there in the world, that is anatma. So body is anatma. So I am not this body. So I say I am Atman. See, mind you, the closeness of the Atma and Anatma, they are so close that is different, very, very difficult to discern them, separate them. But closeness is not the parameter for saying that body is Atma. You cannot say that, even though very close. Suppose you put on a very tight fit dress. The dress, you cannot say that I am this body. I mean, you cannot say that the dress is the body. Or somebody putting on contact lens in the eyes, So you cannot say that contact lens is the eyes. Same way, the world is away. That you can very clearly say that is anatma. It is not very close to me. But your body is closer to that atma. So you cannot say that because of the closeness, the body is the atma. You cannot say that. But the one thing we must ensure that the whole body and all the objects of the world, whatever you are having or enjoying or experiencing, is all taken from the world, and you have to give back to the world at sometimes. Especially your body must go back to the world to form the Pancha Mahabhuta again. So this is the gist of the sloka. The pinda, the deha, is nama rupa, and It is not Atma. It like the Ghata, and it is the modification of the five great elements. Vikaratvat, it is said. And also, as I told you, that modification is creating only Anatma, it cannot create Atma. The dynamism of the body, the movement of the body, and the concept of body, all that is not because of the Anatma, but because of the presence of the Atma pervading the body. Growth and decay of the body is not because of the Anatma, but because of the presence of the Atma close by and because of the assimilation of the nutrients in the body. The body undergoes, is subject to cause and effect, Karya Karana Samparka. That Atma is not having that Karya Karana Sambandha. So there is no cause and effect. There is cause and effect in the body, Atma doesn't have. Same way I told, body, whatever is there in the world, you can say if there is a guna, there is anatma. Sagunatvat. Anything having a guna, that will be anatma. Because atma is nirguna, niraguna. So these are 4-5 points I gave you. Obviously, we have learned much more than that, much deeper than that. But at this level, so in this sloka, he is very clearly saying that body can be is anatma because it is having all these properties. Okay. So we'll just chant the next sloka. Sloka number 14. Sisya uvacha anatma yadi pindoyam ukta hetu balanmatah करामलकवत् साक्षात् आत्मानं प्रतिपादयः अनात्मा यदि पिण्डोऽयम् उक्त हेतु बलान्मतः करामलकवत् साक्षात् आत्मानं प्रतिपादयः. So he says, anatma yadi pindoyam, pinda ayam, this pinda means this gross body. Anatma yadi, if this body, this gross body is anatma, and how? Ukta hetu balanmata. Ukta means you have already mentioned. Hetu means regions. Balan is strength. Because of the strength of your regions that you are given. See, so many regions we gave in the last sloka. All these different regions I gave you. So because of those regions, so Sisya is satisfied that the body is anatma. So anatma yadi pindoyam, if I am this pinda, this gross body is anatma, because you have given so many very strong regions, then what is saying? Koramalaka bat sakshat atmanam pratipadaya. Pratipadaya means you explain. Pratipadan karo. Pratipadan bolte hai na. Is to explain. You satisfy. What will satisfy? Sakshat atmanam. The atma, which is directly, you explain to me very nicely and directly, just like Kora Malakabat. Kora Amalakabat. Amalaka means a fruit. Normally they say Amalaka is the Amala fruit. Amala पता है ना? Gooseberry. Amala. Amala fruit को हाथ में रखो. Say in the Shastras this example is used. You put the Amala in your hand, so you know the Amala is there. So you have the knowledge of the Amala. Because it's a small fruit, you can hold and clasp your hand. ऐसे ही हाथ में पकड़ के रखो. बस. You know you have the Amala in your hand. So kara amalakabat. कर में हाथ में अमलक पकड़ के रखेगा जैसे तुमको पता लगता है. इसे That is your own knowledge. Same way, you tell me, indicate me clearly, directly, exhaustively that what is this self? What is the you told tell me very clearly, you explain me about the Atma. Now he has finished with the Anatma, with the body. Now he is talking, what is the Atma? Please explain to me. So if by the strength of these arguments that we talked of in the last chapter in Sloka, the gross body is considered as Anatma or not self, then please explain to me exhaustively and directly indicate to me that what is this self. And for example, he has given as holding a amala fruit in your hand. Tell me what is it. Okay. So we'll stop it here and continue next class. Carry on.